Edge at 11.
No. Oh my! Oh!
Tonight on The Edge, more severe storms sweep across Metro Detroit. They even gave our Fox 2 crew a jolt while working a story in Macomb County this afternoon. Depending on where you live, you might have seen some downed trees and downed power lines tonight, like this video from the Fox 2 drone on Salem Street in Redford.
Now, people in the neighborhood could not believe what they were seeing outside their homes.
I called my cousin. I said, our power is blinking. Then I hear sizzling. And then, the wind just come out of nowhere. Boom, 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 power flashing, and then the phone's blowing up.
And I get home, and I couldn't even get to my street. And when I finally got to the street, the tree was all the way across. I had to go up on the grass to park in my driveway. But this is terrible.
Several homes on the street were damaged by those downed tree limbs.
Take you out to Southfield now. Mother Nature took aim at attorney Jeffrey Feiger's law offices. Take a look at the damage outside of his building at 10 Mile and Evergreen. A large tree was uprooted and another crashed down right onto a car.
Well, just down the road on Addison Street, more big trees came down, narrowly missing homes. More large tree branches also came down on Fairfax over by 13 Mile and Greenfield. No injuries were reported.
The damage from the storm is widespread.
Yes, it is, and both Grosse Pointe Farms and Livonia hit especially hard. We begin our live team coverage with Fox News' Dave Kinchin. He's live at Grosse Pointe Park with a closer look at the damage there. Dave.
Yeah, we want to point out, we actually moved to an area. We had no signal at all. Our shot froze earlier, so we moved out more towards the main drag of the Grosse Pointe. You can see some light out there, and we're actually at a McDonald's parking lot where there is light here, but there's still a lot of people in the dark. There's DTE crews working feverishly to try to get power restored. Crews trying to cut some of those trees, get those off of those down lines and deal with all of that in the area. We have some pictures for you. A big mess here in the Grosse Pointes.
You go down the streets here, literally trees that have been here for hundreds of years, the tops are just gone.
Power lines and historic trees down galore. Grosse Pointe Farms smacked in the face by Mother Nature yet again for a second time in a week, all thanks to another round of rolling thunder and more.
I've never seen anything like this here in Grosse Pointe.
Sophia says it's pretty mind-blowing.
I was just doing laundry with my mom, and then next thing you know, one of the transformers blew up, and then the whole sky is just gray. Everything's like cloudy, wind's going crazy, and everything's spinning. And so we're like, maybe it's a tornado, because I hear like when it's calm, that's a sign.
And that's not all.
That thing kept catching on fire. I mean, it was a whole disaster over here.
Her house got some damage, but she considers herself lucky.
Our carport, it's kind of bad, but I mean, I'd rather take the carport over the house any day of the week.
If trees weren't totally ripped up from their foundation, they were split in two. Hard to tell what's worse.
I came from Jefferson up to Ross, and I couldn't believe there was a huge branch on the ground, live wires, everything is sparking. It was crazy. And if you look at the trees, I swear to God, our tornado went through, because you can see the tops
spiraled off,
completely chopped off.
Call it an insult to injury, since the Grosse Pointes went through the very same thing before.
And then like the other day, a whole tree fell off and took that power line. I mean, this whole summer has been just like crazy. I've never seen like it.
Yeah, that's the word out here for sure. Crazy. They've never seen anything like it, although an older gentleman we talked to said he remembers a storm like this some years back, but it's been a while. One more note. The government, the Grosse Pointe Farms government, actually sent out a note saying that some power lines were impacted by the storms. They've been shut down that power the pumping stations. They've notified DTE, so there's a major concern about flooding. Remember the floods 2 years ago, about 2 summers ago, the Grosse Pointes really got hit hard there, so there's major concerns when it comes to flooding and that sort of thing, and the government asking people to make sure you keep an eye on your valuables in the basement, remove what you need to remove, because flooding is a concern. For more now on the weather conditions in Livonia, I turn it over to my esteemed colleague, Dave Spencer. Dave.
Thanks, Dave. Yeah, similar scene over here in Livonia in terms of damage caused from those winds. I'm standing under the shelter now of a gas station without any power. Behind me, an intersection that's a four-way stop. Police came in, putting temporary stop signs to make sure that everyone does obey that. But right next to them, they do have power. That's a gas station that the customers have been coming and going as the rain is now starting to let up, and that's giving people a chance to see the damage that was caused by these storms. Whether it was a downed line smoking in the grass or a tree fallen across the road, those living along 5 Mile in Livonia and Plymouth today were looking for alternate routes left and right. Felicia Williams watched the fast-moving storm roll down Mason Street.
When it started getting bad, I went into the house and I was standing in the window, and all of a sudden we heard the boom and the crack.
A large portion of that tree split off, cutting off the access to the intersection.
And it was slated to come down in like 2 to 3 years, but we got it done early.
Other sites like this could be seen down side street after side street in Plymouth as well, like this tree, completely uprooted, toppling across the road and onto a vehicle.
Look at this, every tree in your house yard came down.
And this viewer video of multiple trees blown over from the fierce wind in Livonia, and one very close call.
Here's the miracle. 5 kids were in that car when this tree hit, and she normally parks over here, and there's a car under there. She didn't park there because there was another car there.
All people in that car, we're told, made it out unharmed. Then there was this car, wrapped in caution tape after apparently getting the wheel tangled in a downed wire. Once the afternoon storm passed, the focus became cleanup.
I'm trying to pick all this stuff around here just in case we get some more bad weather.
With some projects bigger than others.
Marge called me and said, Roxanne, are you all right? I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. She's like, oh, I thought you had a heart attack. And she's like, the tree, the blue spruce, uprooted in front of your house.
And while Roxanne works the phone to get some guidance,
I can't get a hold of nobody. So I'm waiting to see if they're going to pay for this so I don't have to pay for this.
Other crews were working to get power restored to the thousands who were left in the dark. Yeah, we saw a lot of people as we were cruising up and down 5 Mile in both Plymouth and Livonia, out and about helping one another. That was kind of the thing that people were telling me, that this is a sense of community. This is why they live here, because neighbors were helping neighbors, something you want to see when you're forced to deal with all that mess, that debris from the fallen limbs and the trees. So that was the one kind of positive that came of all of this, was the people coming together. Reporting live in Livonia tonight, Dave Spencer on The Edge. Back to you.
In this community, we always see that. That's good to see. It's also good to see some of those crews out there from DTE. I know they said they had 1,000 additional crews ready to go. This is going to be really important because tomorrow it'll be in the low 90s. People want their ACs back on.
Yeah, they're going to want that on. They're going to need time and effort and space to do their work. So they're asking people, don't cruise around, don't go looking to see it for yourself. Just give these people time, get that power back on, let them get cool, and let them start that cleanup process in earnest.
Yeah, we certainly hope that happens quickly. Thank you so much, Dave Spencer, for that live report. Tomorrow will be a busy day for cleanup, as Dave just referenced, and for that power restoration. As it stands right now, 155,000 people are without power, according to DTE.
Bill Hutchinson is the Director of Emergency Preparedness and Response for DTE. I spoke with him tonight.
I was wondering, though, if it was known that this storm was going to be coming through on Saturday, were there any preparations taken to make sure that the power outages wouldn't be as extensive as they actually have been? And wondering about why the infrastructure may not be able to deal with winds that are 65 miles per hour or even less, because we have seen many power outages before, and it's been weaker winds than that.
We are prepared. We've brought in these additional resources to support over the next few days, and we are focused on the restoration of these customers.
We are still waiting to hear when DTE expects to be fully restoring power. It's reminding residents to report down power lines and to stay at least 25 feet away if you see one.
And the next couple of days are going to be critical, and they're going to be scorchers too. Hopefully the power gets back quicker than we had first heard.
Yeah, Captain Rich Luderman has a closer look at tonight's storms, and we're really hoping it's moving out of here very soon, Rich.
Tanrup, thankfully it is. We did have 2 rounds of storms, one this afternoon, and we have an ongoing round that's just about exiting onto Lake Erie down into northern Ohio. You can see back around Grand Rapids, also down there close to Chicago. Things are very quiet, so we'll zoom in in with Sky Tracker and show you this last round of storms crossing Metro Detroit. You can see some heavier storms close to Toledo, down around Cleveland, over central Lake Erie. And all of this action is pushing towards London, Ontario, and Toronto as well. Still, the strongest of the storms are now finally exiting onto the west end of Lake Erie. You can see around Pontiac, the rain is done. Ann Arbor, you're done. Howell and Brighton, Flint, up in Lapeer, you're done with the rain and the storms. But notice today on the high end, we saw some gusts getting close to 70 miles per hour. And when you get these kinds of gusts, you will undoubtedly get trees and power lines down. Daytime high today, 84 degrees, pretty close to where we should be when you put all the numbers together. There's your rain total, 3/4 of an inch at the airport. Some places saw double that amount with those very heavy downpours. Now, the temperatures are down from what they were before the storms arrived, but the humidity is up, and that's not going to change for the rest of tonight or for your Thursday and Friday. So muggy air is in store for us for the next couple of days. 88 right now as far west as Minneapolis, 80 Chicago, 82 to our south in Cincy. Big time heat out west, and just a piece of that is coming in our direction over the next couple of days. Thankfully, our weather is going to be quiet for most of Thursday and most of Friday. Now, Friday evening, Friday night, another cold front drops into the area, so more storms likely Friday night. For the rest of tonight, it's muggy out there with storms ending down to 70. Look at that, 90 degrees tomorrow, hazy, hot, and humid. More the same for Friday, but Friday night brings more storm chances. And then check out the weekend forecast, a lot more comfortable Saturday and especially Sunday, Rup and Taryn. How about a full check starting at 4 a.m.?
All right, Rich, thank you. Well, it is the kind of tragedy that is hard to comprehend. A 14-year-old boy is killed in Detroit after he won a basketball game.
Yeah, the young athlete is also a boxer, and he did the best to defend himself against an attack. But when someone brandished a knife, Davian Henderson died after getting stabbed in the neck.
His mother is in shock and disbelief.
Everybody keeps telling me it's okay, but I say it's not okay because he's not coming back. What happened to you win some, you lose some. I don't want nobody to go through what I'm going through right now. I haven't slept, I haven't ate. I don't know if I'm coming or going.
The teen was killed last night in the area of Burgess and Thatcher on the city's west side. So far, no arrests.
The Supreme Court has said that you cannot sentence a juvenile to life without parole. Previously, you said we cannot no longer execute a juvenile. Now we cannot sentence them to life without parole without something called the Miller hearing.
We are just hours away from that Miller hearing involving Oxford High School shooter Ethan Crumbley. It'll determine if a life without parole sentence is appropriate for the now 16-year-old. Prosecutors and Crumbley's defense attorney will present their arguments over the next couple of days. Crumbley's home life, upbringing, and health issues are just some of the things expected to be examined. The hearing is scheduled for Thursday morning at 9. We will stream it live on fox2detroit.com.
Apologize the family of the victim and the victim itself that what happened.
With the use of an interpreter, Tub Tim Housen apologizes to a Shelby Township family for killing their loved one. On New Year's Day, Housen struck 22-year-old Ben Cable as he was walking along the road in Oakland Township. After the deadly crash, she flew back to her native country of Thailand. She was eventually caught and extradited back to the U.S. and given a $1 million bond. Housen's attempt to avoid prosecution made the tragedy even tougher on Cable's family.
I cannot even think about the future because I struggle to even want to live in a world that my son is no longer in. Losing Ben has broken me and my family.
Housen pleaded no contest to failing to stop at the scene of an accident resulting in death. She'll spend the next 1 to 5 years behind bars.